Welcome to my channel, KetoMealsAndRecipes.com. Today I want to share with you a very special recipe that is a great condiment all on its own. In this step-by-step video, I will be making this fresh, not fermented, classic Vietnamese pickled relish. I'm sure that once you taste this sweet and sour relish, you will absolutely love it. So today I will be demonstrating how to make a daikon and carrot pickle, more correct name, Vietnamese pickle Đồ Chua. I truly apologize if I mispronounced that name. And I'm especially excited about sharing it because I will be using it in the next two videos as part of the meal recipe. I will show you a keto-adapted popular Vietnamese street food which uses this relish. As well, I will use this relish to make my spicy tuna roll, which is a very flavorful fusion-style sushi roll. But it can also be used in many other Asian recipes and non-Asian recipes. And please watch to the end for all the tips and tricks I'm providing for this recipe. Because if your family is anything like mine, it will become a favorite very quickly. I would also like to mention that a condiment on its own does not comply with pure keto guidelines, but is a taste enhancer when used in moderation with other recipes, so the overall meal can still be keto or low carb. After watching this video, please leave me your comments and thoughts on this recipe or anything else that you might find useful while having a cleaner, healthier, keto and low carb, gluten-free lifestyle. Now, the macronutrient ratio for my Vietnamese pickled Đồ Chua is only 0.1 to 1 with 3.1 grams of total carbs, 1 gram of dietary fiber, resulting in 2.1 grams of net carb per 40 gram serving. Here's all the ingredients that you will need. Not that many and very easily found. As I mentioned earlier, this fresh pickle relish is not a fermented relish which requires much longer before you can use it, whereas this fresh style relish, which is very typical in Asian cuisine, can be used within 1 or 2 hours after it is made. So let's begin. So first thing I do is I peel the carrots. The best way that I have found to peel the carrot is just to use a knife and scrape the outer skin. Next, I actually peel the tougher outer skin of the Diakon radish and cut it into 2 or 3 sections, depending on my Diakon radish. To get nice long matchsticks or julienne sliced pieces, place your Diakon section on your cutting board and cut the cylinder in half. Then start at one edge and cut about 1/4 inch or 1/2 centimeter thin slices. And repeat until you have cut as much as you will need for this recipe. To get the correct quantities and for best and consistent results, I always weigh out my ingredients for all of my recipes. So here I'm weighing the daikon. Next, to make the matchstick slices, take one of the wedges and cut each of these wedges into 1/4 inch or about 1/2 centimeter lengthwise cuts, like this. Following this technique will result in your daikon matchsticks all having about the same thickness, which I think is important for flavor and aesthetic presentation. Repeat until you have cut all the daikon you will need and set the daikon aside while you prepare the carrots. Take your peeled carrot and cut it as closely as you can into equal halves lengthwise. You can use the whole round carrot and not cut it in half, but you have to be very careful because the whole carrot will roll around because it's less stable when you're cutting it. Now, to also get long matchsticks, the next thing you do is cut your carrot into long diagonal slices of, again, about 1/4 inch or about 1/2 centimeter sections. And like we did with the daikon, take one of the sections and cut it into matchsticks of the same size, about 1/4 inch or 1/2 centimeter long sections. And repeat until all the carrot is cut up. With the carrot, you will have different lengths, but that doesn't matter. The important thing is that all your carrot and your daikon are the same thickness. After cutting the carrot and daikon into the matchsticks, place the vegetables into a large bowl, or as I'm using, a casserole dish. First, sprinkle the vegetables with finely ground salt and then with sweetener that has also been ground to a fine powder. Although you can use a spatula, I have found that it's easier to do this Use your hands to gently toss the vegetables, and after tossing, gently squeeze and massage the vegetables, but be careful you don't snap them. Do this several times over 2 to 3 minutes. You will notice that by doing this, a fair bit of water has been released by the vegetables. This step will also soften the vegetables so they can be bent without snapping. As you can see, this is the right texture. And the extra juice you have in your bowl, save it. No need to waste this juice. It is quite tasty and nutritious. A couple ways you can use this extra juice is in soups or smoothies. Next, transfer the vegetables to a colander and rinse very well under running water. And then leave the vegetables to drain in the colander for a few minutes. You don't need to pat dry them or anything. It is now time to transfer the rinsed and drained vegetables into a 1 liter or 1 quart mason jar. But when you're putting them in the jar, do not compress the vegetables. The last thing we're going to do is to make the brine. So into the mason jar, pour in the water, the white vinegar, and the sweetener, and then just stir until the sweetener has dissolved. Although this is how I did it in this video, a much better way to make the brine would be to make the brine all in a large measuring cup or small bowl. Stir to dissolve the sweetener, and after the sweetener has dissolved, pour this prepared brine into the mason jar. That was originally how I intended to make this video, but I was so focused on camera angles while making this video, I got carried away and I did the steps in the wrong order. That's all there is to making this pickled daikon and carrot recipe. But I strongly advise you that you should refrigerate for 1 to 2 hours before serving. This will allow the brine to absorb into the carrot and daikon and develop that really wonderful sweet and sour taste. The best way to store this pickle relish is, of course, by using an airtight glass mason jar and keeping it refrigerated. And that's because it is not fermented. You cannot put it into your pantry or keep it on your shelves. However, when refrigerated in a proper container, it will keep for about 6 weeks. And although this is a sugar-free version, it still has that classic Vietnamese flavor and is a wonderful condiment for many recipes. I really love reading your comments and corresponding and answering everyone. So please leave me a comment if you like and use this kind of condiment and how you would use this kind of condiment. Most of all, I hope you have found this Vietnamese carrot and daikon pickle relish useful. Thank you so much for watching this video, especially if you made it all the way to the end. As a reminder, the link for the formatted and translatable written recipe is in the description box below. If you want to support my channel, please share this recipe with someone that you think might also like this recipe. And until next time, have a very happy and healthy day. Cheers!